The incident began when Dr. Sara Al Madani, the renowned Emirati entrepreneur, motivational speaker, and advocate for women's empowerment, accepted an invitation to appear as a guest on the long-running British daytime talk show Loose Women. Known for her bold opinions on personal development, cultural differences, and challenging societal norms, Sara arrived prepared to discuss her journey from humble beginnings to building a global brand, her views on mental resilience, and how she inspires millions through her podcasts and social media platforms. The panel that day included the fiery and outspoken Denise Welch, a veteran actress and Loose Women regular famous for her candid, no-holds-barred style and willingness to dive into controversial topics without hesitation. What started as a seemingly light-hearted conversation about cultural perceptions of success quickly escalated when Denise probed Sara about her outspoken critiques of Western feminism versus traditional values in the Middle East. Sara, staying true to her direct manner, responded with confidence, asserting that true empowerment comes from inner strength rather than external validation, and she questioned some of the panel's assumptions about gender roles in different societies. Viewers at home began noticing the tension as Denise's tone shifted from playful to pointed, interrupting Sara multiple times and dismissing her perspectives as overly simplistic or out of touch with British realities. The exchange grew heated when Sara calmly but firmly defended her stance on self-reliance and family-oriented success, suggesting that some Western approaches prioritize individualism at the expense of community harmony. Denise, feeling challenged, retorted sharply, accusing Sara of romanticizing outdated traditions and implying her success was more privilege than perseverance. The studio audience shifted uncomfortably as the back and forth intensified, with other panelists attempting to mediate but failing to cool the rising tempers. Sara maintained composure, emphasizing respect and dialogue, yet Denise pressed harder, her voice rising as she labeled certain comments divisive. In that charged moment, the confrontation reached its peak when Sara, refusing to back down, delivered a powerful rebuttal about authenticity and refusing to conform to expected narratives, which appeared to strike a nerve with Denise. The host quickly intervened as the debate spiraled, but the damage was done. The atmosphere had turned electric, and producers reportedly signaled off-camera that the segment needed to wrap abruptly. What many later described as Sara being kicked off stemmed from this explosive clash, where the guests' unfiltered honesty collided head-on with the host's combative energy, leaving audiences stunned and social media buzzing within minutes. As the argument unfolded live on air, the cameras captured every nuance of discomfort and defiance. Dr. Sara Al Madani leaned forward slightly, her eyes steady and voice measured, refusing to be rattled by the interruptions that came her way. She spoke passionately about how her experiences growing up in the UAE shaped her belief that empowerment is universal yet expressed differently across cultures, citing examples from her own life where hard work and cultural pride led to breakthroughs often overlooked in mainstream discussions. Denise Welch, seated opposite with her characteristic expressive gestures, countered by highlighting stories of British women who fought against restrictive norms, suggesting Sara's views downplayed those struggles. The tension escalated further when Sara pointed out that empowerment isn't a one-size-fits-all concept and that judging other cultures through a single lens can breed misunderstanding. Denise's response grew more animated, her face flushing as she accused Sara of lecturing rather than conversing, and she waved her hand dismissively while stating that such opinions belonged elsewhere. Sara, undeterred, responded with a calm yet piercing observation about the importance of listening without preconceived biases, which only fueled Denise's frustration. The other panelists tried injecting humor or redirecting to lighter topics like celebrity gossip or daily life hacks, but the spotlight remained firmly on the two women locked in this ideological standoff. Viewers watching from their living rooms flooded comment sections and forums, some cheering Sara's poise and others siding with Denise's raw emotion. The producers, sensing the segment had veered too far into uncharted territory, reportedly whispered instructions through earpieces, urging a swift conclusion. In a dramatic turn, after one particularly sharp exchange where Denise declared she wouldn't tolerate what she called condescending remarks, the floor manager signaled an end, and Sara was escorted off set amid awkward applause and stunned silence from the audience. Clips of the moment spread like wildfire online, with hashtags trending as people debated whether it was a genuine clash of ideas or manufactured drama for ratings. Sara later addressed the incident in her own calm, reflective style on social media, emphasizing that growth comes from uncomfortable conversations rather than avoidance. The aftermath of the confrontation rippled far beyond the studio walls, igniting fierce discussions across platforms and news outlets. Dr. Sara Al Madani, already a polarizing yet admired figure for her no-nonsense approach to self-improvement and cultural commentary, saw her follower count surge as supporters praised her for standing her ground against what they perceived as dismissive hostility. Many clips circulating showed Sara's composed demeanor contrasting sharply with Denise's increasingly agitated reactions, leading some commentators to argue that the host had lost control of the interview. Denise Welch, a beloved staple on Loose Women for her honesty and vulnerability on topics like mental health and addiction recovery, faced backlash from viewers who felt she had been unnecessarily aggressive toward a guest sharing a different worldview. Defenders of Denise pointed out her passion stemmed from years of advocating for women's rights in the UK, and they viewed Sara's comments as challenging hard-won progress. The show's producers issued a brief statement acknowledging the lively debate but insisting it was all a part of the program's unscripted nature, while avoiding any direct mention of Sara being removed. Online forums dissected every second of the exchange, with body language experts weighing in on facial expressions, hand movements, and vocal tones to determine who won the argument. International audiences, particularly in the Middle East, rallied behind Sara, seeing her as a representative of balanced empowerment that respects heritage while embracing modernity. Meanwhile, in the UK, tabloids ran headlines sensationalizing the shock exit, fueling speculation about whether Loose Women would invite Sara back or if Denise would address the incident in future episodes. Sara herself released a measured response video, expressing gratitude for the platform while reiterating her commitment to respectful discourse, no matter how heated. The event highlighted broader tensions in cross-cultural dialogues on feminism, success, and respect, proving once again that daytime television thrives on raw, unfiltered moments even when they border on chaos. In the days following the explosive appearance, public opinion remained deeply divided, with many praising Dr. Sara Al Madani for her grace under pressure while others felt Denise Welch was justified in pushing back against what they saw as provocative statements. Social media timelines overflowed with edited montages of the key moments, Sara's steady gaze as she defended her principles, Denise's animated gestures underscoring her points, and the sudden cutaway as the segment ended abruptly. Supporters of Sara launched campaigns highlighting her achievements in entrepreneurship and philanthropy, arguing that her perspective deserved more airtime rather than dismissal. Denise's fans countered by sharing clips of her past interviews where she fearlessly tackled tough subjects, insisting her intensity was a hallmark of authentic television rather than rudeness. Analysts noted how the clash exposed generational and cultural gaps in discussions about women's roles, with Sara representing a newer wave of global influencers who blend tradition with ambition. The Loose Women team, known for embracing controversy to boost viewership, saw ratings spike for subsequent episodes as audiences tuned in hoping for follow-up commentary. Some panelists subtly referenced the incident in later shows, alluding to memorable guests without naming names, which only added fuel to the speculation. Sara continued her work undaunted, using the experience to fuel motivational content about handling criticism and staying true to one's values. She emphasized in interviews that true strength lies in rising above negativity rather than engaging in endless conflict. The episode became a case study in media studies circles on how live television can amplify ideological differences, turning a routine chat into an unforgettable spectacle that sparked conversations well beyond the UK. Reflecting on the broader implications, the confrontation between Dr. Sara Al Madani and Denise Welch served as a microcosm of ongoing global debates about identity, empowerment, and mutual respect in an interconnected world. Sara's insistence on honoring diverse paths to success challenged the dominant narratives often presented on Western platforms, prompting viewers to question their own biases. Denise's passionate defense of her lived experiences underscored the importance of not shying away from difficult topics, even if it risks discomfort. The incident reminded audiences that television isn't just entertainment, it's a mirror reflecting societal fault lines. Many who watched felt a mix of admiration and unease, recognizing that such clashes, while messy, can foster greater understanding when approached with openness. Sara emerged from the experience with her reputation intact among her core followers, who viewed her exit not as defeat but as a principled stand. Denise, too, retained her status as a bold voice unafraid of controversy. The event encouraged deeper discussions in online communities about how guests from different backgrounds are treated on mainstream shows and whether panels truly allow space for dissenting views. Ultimately, what began as a simple guest spot transformed into a viral moment that transcended the screen, encouraging people everywhere to reflect on how they engage with ideas that differ from their own. Years from now, the heated confrontation on Loose Women between Dr. Sara Al Madani and Denise Welch will likely be remembered as one of those defining live television moments that capture the spirit of an era marked by bold opinions and zero tolerance for conformity. It showcased the raw power of unscripted dialogue, where personalities collide and sparks fly, reminding producers and viewers alike that authenticity, however uncomfortably, drives engagement. Sara's poised handling of the situation solidified her image as a resilient leader who turns adversity into opportunity, while Denise's fiery approach reinforced her role as a no-filter icon in British media. The clip continues to circulate, inspiring reaction videos, think pieces, and even academic analyses on cross-cultural communication. In the end, the so-called kicking off wasn't just about one guest leaving the set, it was about two strong women refusing to dilute their truths, creating a legacy of debate that challenges us all to listen more deeply, speak more courageously, and embrace the discomfort that comes with genuine exchange. Whether viewed as drama or dialogue, the encounter left an indelible mark, proving that sometimes the most impactful television happens when things don't go according to plan.